fastest way to get to energy. The electron transport chain. I'm sorry about the cheesy joke. Well, this is cellular respiration. You ready to make energy? Good, neither do I. So to begin, there is the wonderful glycolysis that uses one glucose and using 2 ATP and turning it into ADP, making the glucose a glucose 6-phosphate. Taking the second ATP and again making it into a ADP, making a second phosphate and adding it to the fructose, then splitting the fructose into 2 3-carbon 1-phosphate, quickly rearranging into 2 G3P molecules. In a near spontaneous reaction, each G3P gains an inorganic phosphorus while contributing 2 electrons and a hydrogen ion to NAD+ to form NADH. Each G3P loses a phosphate molecule and gains 1 ATP for each G3P, and the remaining phosphate molecule is moved to the center position and H2O is produced. The final phosphate is transferred to ADP and forms ATP, producing 2 more ATP. And the end of glycolysis, a net of 2 ATP is produced along with 2 NADH. Before the Krebs cycle, there is an extra stage where acetyl-CoA is formed by a pyruvic acid losing an electron to form NADH, and CoA going into the pyruvic acid and coming out is CO2, but acetyl-CoA is very unstable. Now for the Krebs cycle. The first step if the Krebs cycle is acetyl coenzyme A adds to oxaloacetate to make citrate. During this, CoA leaves for it is unstable. In the second step, water is added, then removed, and citrate changes to its isomer, isocitrate. In the third step, decarboxylation occurs and CO2 is released. Hydrogen adds to NAD+ to make NADH. Now we have a ketoglutarate. In the fourth step, decarboxylation occurs again and CO2 and a hydrogen is lost, but the hydrogen is used to make another NADH. Coenzyme A returns and we end up with succinyl coenzyme A. In step 5, GDP adds a phosphate to make GTP, which then rearranges to form ATP. Coenzyme A leaves the compound, name is now succinate. In step 6, dehydrogenation happens and the hydrogen adds to FAD to form FADH2. The compound is now called fumarate. Is step 7, water is added and the compound is now called malate. In the final step, dehydrogenation occurs and the hydrogen is added to NAD+ to form NADH. Yay, finally the last stage of cellular respiration, the electron transport chain. Where the electron transport chain occurs is in the cristae of the mitochondria. The importance of it is that it takes the high energy of NADH and FADH2 and turns it into ATP. The final electron acceptor is where oxygen which accepts electrons and makes water.